Okay, so what is pH? Well, it's a concentration of hydrogen ions or acid in solution. If you have a neutral pH, it's a 7.0. So if I look at this, acidic is lower than 7.0, basic is higher than 7.0, but if you look at the blood, it's slightly basic because it's above 7.0 and it's within the range of 7.35 to 7.45. That is normal pH of blood. pH scale, you guys can take a look at. It shows you the different concentrations. Stomach acid is about a 1. Anywhere from 1 to 3 is your stomach acid. So acid, base, I want to talk about this really quickly. So if we have the mouth, that's the mouth, and we have the stomach, right? And then we have the small intestines and large intestines. Which one is acidic? Well, we have acidic in the stomach, right? We said the stomach was acidic. Well, if every time I burp, acid retrogrades back up into the mouth, what do I have to do to neutralize the acid that's potentially going to erode my teeth? Well, I need to have a base. So the mouth releases basic solution that can counter the acid that can regurgitate up into the mouth. What about the acid that flows into the intestines? Well, the intestines also has to neutralize the excess acid that's coming from the stomach, or else it's going to eat away at the lining of the intestines. So I have a little pattern going on. I have base in the mouth, acid in the stomach, and base in the intestines. Here's the example I like to talk about. If I have aspirin, and I'm taking aspirin, which is anti-inflammatory and reduces fever, reduces pain, and I'm taking it for arthritis, but I notice that my patient is starting to complain of stomach ulcers, it's because aspirin is acidic and like dissolves like. So where are you going to have dissolving and absorption of my aspirin? I'm going to have it in the stomach. One of the side effects of aspirin is that it reduces mucus production in the stomach, and mucus protects the lining of the stomach. So if I remove the mucus, I no longer protect the lining. I can cause damage and ulceration to the stomach, to basically the lining of the stomach. Well, how do I treat that? If I take them off the aspirin, they're going to have problems with pain in their joints. But I want to keep the aspirin going. How do I change the point of absorption? What would you guys do? Well, I take the aspirin and I coat it with a base. If I coat it with a base, where am I going to absorb my aspirin? I don't have enough time in the mouth, so that's not going to happen. Well, like dissolves like, I'm probably going to have absorption, greater absorption in the small intestines, right, or in the intestines. So I have aspirin coated with a base that's being absorbed into the intestines. I might still have ulcer formation, so there's a danger in that. Even though my patient is no longer complaining of ulcer pain, because stomach ulcers, you can sense the irritation and the pain in the stomach, but the small intestines and large intestines they don't have pain receptors, they have stretch receptors. So you're not going to feel the pain from the ulcer, but the ulcer's formation still might be there.